two have been friends for a long time. What is it like working together?
Friends, you could, that's very loose, that word is with us.
Concocted. It is weird, it is very strange to have thought that, you know, because I knew Gary even, I remember getting the call one day to say, you know, I'm auditioning for this band. And that's, you know, we knew each other well before Take That ever.
So the question is Gary still the same person he was before Take That then?
Definitely not.
I'm afraid. Yes, yeah.
The rider is very different between me and Tim. This is a Twix and mine is like half a Whole Foods. So yeah.
No,
things have changed. Yeah, but he's changed.
I've grown up and matured.
It was very interesting because Tim went off and got like a proper job. He went off to Cambridge, and I just went off gigging.
Yes, he went to the Conservative Club down the High Street. All of which I still live there. So all of the places that that was the big shock initially was that we lived in the same town. You know, which was extraordinary, really.
And Calendar Girls, you wrote the film, then the play, now the musical. Why do you think, apart from the good writing, the story is so popular still?
Oh, I think partly because it's a comedy, partly because people will come and see this show, and as they keep telling us, we will cry at this show, but we will laugh so much that we forget that we've cried, and somewhere in the middle of that is the heart of what made it such a brilliant story. It's so very British, very English story, but it's about subverting all of those preconceptions of what it is to be English, what it is to be in the WI. It's so fabulously upturning, and so the actual story was so witty that we just hope that that the songs capture that comedy and that sense of friendship, you know, that camaraderie.
Well, just listening to the music, you can get those highs and lows of emotion. And I imagine on stage it must be even more heightened, all those emotions. What's it like watching it on stage?
Well, as you know, you're asking the wrong person, because to me, music heightens all emotions, whether it's in film or it's on stage. So when I first went to see the play with Tim, I absolutely loved the storyline, the way he'd taken the stage version. And what we did was we used the music to heighten those points. If it's very sad, we used it to heighten the sadness. When it's very happy and witty, like Tim says, we use the music to turn all those keys a little bit further.
So what made you want to get involved with the story and make it into a musical?
Well, I'd never done a musical at the time, and when Tim came to me, I said, I don't know anything about musicals. I've only seen a couple of musicals. You know, what should I do? Go and see all the rest of the music? And he was like, don't go and watch anything, just do what you do. I want you to come back with like an album worth of stuff, and we'll go through it and choose things, and then we'll do it again. And so over the course of about 4 or 5 years, we basically made about 5 albums worth of music, and then from those albums selected the 10, 11 songs that go into the show.
So what are the changes then between it being The Girls and then the Calendar Girls musical?
Very, very little, really. I mean, actually, the great thing was having the show in the West End and having a fabulous cast and this great production of it gave us the chance to, in a sense, formulate what we hope will be the finished version of the show, which this is. And largely the show stayed the same. We changed the orchestrations, we pushed and pulled here and there, but the actual core of the show and the big songs of the show are the same. This, we hope, is the final and ultimate version of the show. And of course what's exciting about these songs is that it gives you the chance to talk directly to an audience. There's no point writing a musical of a play unless there are things that the characters can sing that they can't say. And the songs give you the chance to do that.
And has it made you more of a musical fan now you've been involved in one couple?
I have to say that we, obviously with our own shows, we know what collaboration's all about, but within musicals I've never seen collaboration on a scale like this. You know, when the lighting crew have a good night, when the actors and actresses have a good night, when the band has a good... when all these critical pieces of a show come together, that's when it's a great show. And literally it's almost like watching a brand new show every night, because things happen, people get ill, lights don't work, mics don't work. It's a moving beast, and it's very exciting. Even though I must have seen it 100 times, this show, you go tomorrow night and it feels like a new version you're watching.
And you've had amazing cast members. Are you looking forward to the next? You know, you've got Leslie Joseph in it. Must be really excited for how the cast changes.
They do. They completely change it every time, because it's such a group comedy that everybody relies on everybody else, and then of course everybody knows that it's working towards this extraordinary kind of final scene where literally you are in control of everybody else's modesty when they actually do the calendar for the first time, and it's quite tricky, you know, because you are exposed in many ways, physically as well as musically, and everybody has got to work with pinpoint precision to make that all work. So it's a great metaphor for the importance of the group, and that's what makes the comedy, it makes it so riotous at the end.
And you've done a lot of different calendars, Gary. Have you ever been tempted to do a WI style one?
No, I haven't really. I want people to enjoy them.
No. It's the whole of July.
Not turn them away.
The whole of July, you know, really. You know,
January,
just
that's going to be a cold version. It's not flattering. No.
That was a very definite no on that one. Yeah. Any more musicals? Any more in the pipeline that you're going to work on?
The thing is, you have to, as Gary just said, 5 years. It takes that long, and so we've been talking about other ideas and already working on songs and ideas for shows that we may not do for 2 or 3 years' time. But I think you end up writing a different kind of song for this, for a musical, because the story is king. You've got to follow the story. It's not like writing an album of songs. So for me, when a musical works, it's the best that theatre can be. And I hope, you know, in the theatre in Birmingham, you'll see, you know, there is an atmosphere in the room that you will not get anywhere else, not watching telly, not in a cinema. There's something that's actually a contract between you and these live people on stage, and as long as it's like that, why would you not? Why would you not?
And Gary, you're here performing with Take That.
Yep.
How's the tour been going?
It's been going great. It's been going great. And just to go back on what Tim was saying, you know, for us as a group, you know, making records and doing interviews, they're all one thing, but live is, and it feels, I don't know, I feel like people have come back to it in a funny way. You know, we're playing tours longer to more people than we ever played in the 90s. What's that saying? You know, people want to go out, they want to see live music. Same with the theatre. You know, we have wherever we go with this show, we have great audiences who come out in their droves to see it.
And a lot of people from there's a crossover now as well, isn't there? We're getting a lot of people who are Take That fans who would maybe not have gone to see a musical coming to see this and then realise, wow, you know, this is a great night out, and it's something that you can't get digitally.
Mm-hmm. And I saw someone on your Instagram today say, I hope you do this for the next 30 years. Mm-hmm. Is that your plan?
The next 30, yeah, definitely the plan. Yeah.
Right. So quite long they want you to keep going for.
I mean, like I'm still in my 40s, so I mean, I definitely don't. I'm not even considering retiring. I'm really not. I do lots of gigs a year. You know, we talked about writing other musicals before. We're always writing, aren't we? All the time.
Yeah.
I'm a songwriter, so nearly every day, if I'm not tweaking a lyric, or I'm just always doing. I don't know what it's for. So it could be for a music, could be for an album. I don't know, but I just like to write a lot.
And could there be any more incarnations of the Calendar Girls?
Apart from On Ice, no. I think we've finally done. That's really dangerous. No, I think. I mean, what we'd love is that, you know, other countries are showing an interest in putting on the story. And it would be fantastic if the story then has a life as the play had across the world.
Brilliant.